All right, we'll call the meeting to order here this morning. Everyone, please join me and rise for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey, I need to I need a motion to approve the agenda.
Yes, you do.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve today's agenda?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and support. And Wes provided us some information to add here to that. So Wes, if you want to give us your report, that'd be great. Thank you.
So the irrigation system across the street has been repaired. They had to trench in some new pipe, put a few new heads in. And I talked with Tim Kramer, just waiting for him to come back. He has a machine that'll level all that topsoil, we'll get it planted. Should be happening in the near future. I've got nothing done yet with that accident damage to the fairgrounds. From my understanding, they are now testing the system for the new tower. Hope to have that, like, I think it's the 21st or the 23rd of August, go live and be using that.
We had that on the courts,
Right.
Monday, and they're testing all the first week of August, and they'll go live the 23rd.
Work on 7-Eleven building. We did finish applying the sealer to the block. We're just, we need to prep, prime and paint the exterior trim. Controls for the terminal unit is done. The MDOT building is done. To the point of the work is complete. I did receive the original invoice for that job, which was for the total amount. And then when I looked in my email this morning, I did get another bill for balancing and measuring a system, which I need to call because it was all included in the first one, but I'll take care of that. No major problems with the pool. It's back up and going. The panels for the swine barn that were budgeted, we'll be getting that going hopefully yet this week, if not next week, with the hopes of having it done before the fair. And then the courthouse parking lot, I attached a couple of quotes for that. One was from CNC Excavating. That was to do just patching. And that cost was $7,000. He does not do crack filling, sealing, or striping. So the other one I got is from Prime Results. When I first spoke to him, he wanted the job pretty bad. He's been, he's been doing a lot of work around town. So to patch the holes, do the crack filling, he's willing to seal coat for free and stripe for free for a total of $8,500. That money was budgeted for this year. There was $15,000 budgeted. My recommendation is that we go with Prime Results, get them going. He said he could start within a couple of weeks, and he's willing to do it on the weekend so we don't drop office hours or none of that stuff. So.
And how much did you say was budgeted?
$15,000.
And that is to repair the bad areas?
Yeah, there's like 10 different areas that, and a couple of them are fairly large. In the corners, you can see where actually the curbing and the parking lot has settled. So the storm drains are sticking up 1.5 to 2 inches above the asphalt, which we catch with the snowplows in the wintertime.
An obvious trip hazard.
So he would cut them back about a parking spot and a half and re-taper that and build that back up so it drained properly and we didn't have those issues. And then there's some other smaller spots. There's one spot that's been patched before. And I don't know for sure, but it appears to me when they put the parking lot in, they put it in over a stump. And the stump keeps rotting away, so the asphalt keeps settling. But he was gonna redo that one again also, and
My only thought on that is, since we're under budget by quite a bit, does it make sense to get an estimate to replace a section of the parking lot every year for the next so many years, or is that foolish, or?
I think repairing it'll be okay for right now.
Okay,
I guess if I was gonna do anything more than that in the next few years, it would be like 1.5 or 2 inch overlay over the whole parking lot.
okay. Yep,
And I'd like to wait and see what our budget's gonna be like. We don't know yet.
right.
Are you talking?
Next year, yeah.
Next year. But that $8,500,
Right, if we don't do something with this year, another winter's gonna take a heavy toll on it.
Yeah,
yeah, but that 8,500, he's gonna seal coat for free. And he's gonna do the line painting in the parking lot, and sounds like he's gonna do quite a bit.
yeah. It's a lot of
We've
work.
been doing a lot of work around town.
Yeah, I see him in parking lots 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night.
He just did Big B Coffee Shop and he did small deal all down there. Yeah, my question was about patching the larger spots. And he sent me over to 40 Winks Motel. He had done some patching there and I looked at that and it looks just fine to me.
Good.
Well, then I'll make the motion that we go with prime result
Okay,
for the parking lot.
we have a motion, looking for support.
I'll second that.
All right, looks like we have a motion and support. Do we need to do a vote on that? Bill?
Yes, yeah, roll call.
A roll call vote? Okay.
Commissioner LaHaye,
Yes.
Commissioner Fournier,
Yes,
Commissioner Peterson.
Yes.
Commissioner Kondrashevsky.
Yes.
I guess the health department is the next one. The health department, the major problems are in the drive from Wilson Street going in, where you exit from the health department. There is a couple spots right inside the parking lot, but that has already had a 1.5 inch overlay over it once before. And I think we're at the point now, we need to cut that stuff out and do a fairly large amount of patching. I think I attached a kind of a map of where all the repairs were supposed to be made there. When I talked to Prime Results, they didn't even want to bid the job. But CNC Excavating gave me a bid of $15,500 to remove those and replace that asphalt. Actually, because there's been an 1.5 inch overlay, there's a bump there. He's actually cut it back and taper it so that it makes things a little bit nicer. And the radius where you turn left out of the parking lot to head out towards Wilson Street, he would move that radius back about a 6 feet or so because the cars are running across the grass right there. So he kind of cleaned that up a little bit. And that was the only quote that I got on that one. But I mean, we've patched that parking lot ever since, that area ever since we've had the building. And I know this spring it was bad enough where we couldn't patch it because it was still full of water, but I know Mary Catherine was getting calls from the residents in the apartments back there and stuff too. So that's why I went ahead and got this quote to make those repairs.
that's not the,
That was not budgeted and that would have to come out of the health department fund equity.
that's not the road immediately off. What's that main road, and then you turn into the,
Right, Besser School's on Wilson Street.
Right, okay.
Turn left, and just as you're approaching the or I'm sorry, you turn right, and as soon as you're about ready to turn right into the parking lot again, it's that intersection
Oh, okay.
right there.
So we own that.
The land's never been surveyed. I can't say that for sure, but we've always maintained it. We don't plow it in the wintertime. Somebody does it with a tractor, but we've taken care of the potholes and stuff like that ever since we took possession of the building. And there is two of the areas are actually after you would make that right turn into the parking lot.
Yeah, I go in there for meetings. But we don't know if we own it.
I know we gotta fix it, or we've been fixing it.
You own the building, but we don't own the land.
Yeah, that's Besser owns it, right?
No, college.
Or college. Did you ever go to college, tell them we need to fix the road?
No. That ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, well, you never know. Miracles happen.
All right, well, we've got an estimate, an only estimate, and it seems rational to me. So we're looking for a support.
Well, that money, like I said, is coming out of that fund.
Yep, come out of the health department.
This person actually, this is Corey Standard. He actually told me that he can get this done fairly soon too.
Okay.
That's another big piece of the puzzle.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'll make that motion.
Mobilize.
I'll make a motion.
I'll support.
All right, we have a motion and support. We'll look for another roll call vote.
Commissioner Fournier,
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson,
Yes.
Commissioner LaHaye,
Yes.
Commissioner Konashevsky.
Yes.
All right, compressor replacement at the health department. We had a compressor fail. Compressor that failed was replaced just 2 or 3 years ago. So Control Solutions gave me a quote, basically to do an acid test on the compressor and just replace the compressor itself with, and swap out the refrigerant from our 22 to a newer stuff. I don't remember the name of it right now. They would do that for $4,555. So I went to get another quote, had G&K Plumbing and Heating go over there. When they looked at it, knowing that it had been replaced recently, their thought was to flush all the lines through the building, through the air handler, make sure there was no oil left in there, no blockages, because they thought that could be a cause of that compressor working too hard and failing after just a couple of years. So they quoted me $9,650 to do it. And I guess my feeling is that we need to do the extra work. We need to get that flushed out, or we could very well have a failure again in 2 or 3 more years. So that would be my recommendation, is having G&K take care of that.
And that money would come out of that rental fund.
Yeah, it would have to have money from the,
Health department.
from the health department
That's what I mean.
equity, because
We have set up.
I know there's not that in that line item. I mean, I don't think we budget that much at the beginning of the year for that line item, so.
Kim online? Kim? She, could you answer that question about the funding for the air compressor out of the health department budget line?
She emailed me.
She said we do have enough in the fund balance to cover it.
Yep. Yeah, there should be a couple $100,000 in there.
Now, I thought we had a lot in there, but I wanted to make sure,
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a motion on this, that we can do it.
Yeah.
Then I'll make the motion that we spend the $9,600,
Well, the 15 you're looking at, aren't you? Or the 9,000, yeah.
$9,650 to get it fixed the way it should.
I'll support.
And that's with G&K Heating.
So we have a motion and support, and I'll open it up for discussion if anybody else has a question, because I do.
Okay.
So if I understand your description and by reading this, it looks as if the only difference between the two estimates is that G&K is gonna flush the lines out.
And they're gonna replace the sight glass. I mean, I don't think the sight glass is a huge cost. I think the bigger portion of the additional expenses to flush all them lines out and everything.
Okay. Well, my thought is, should we ask for the other quote, what the additional charge would be to have them flush it?
I can do that.
I think we should. Just to, so we're comparing apples to apples.
Okay. I can do that. If you want to like maybe approve up to 9,650.
Yeah.
I will get with them, get that information and, you know, they're both reputable. I
Yeah,
have a
100%.
problem with either one of them. So
Yep.
I don't have a problem.
Should I amend my motion then?
If you would, please.
And I'll amend it to checking with the other company
Are you gonna amend it to up to 9,600?
and, yeah, and to 9650.
Yeah.
That's what we said, yeah.
All right. So we have a motion to accept either bid that we see fit up to $9,650.
Right.
I second it.
We have support from Mr. Peterson. So again, we're spending money, so we'll need a roll call vote.
Commissioner Peterson?
Yes.
Commissioner LaHaye?
Yes.
Commissioner Fournier?
Yes.
Commissioner Kondrashevsky?
Yes. Okay,
Okay, the electrical service at the fairgrounds, this is something we touched on at one other meeting. And I guess I wasn't quite sure after the meeting if it was something that we wanted to move forward with. It was budgeted 15,000 to put in, have the power company and Omega together put in power meters to the house and the fair board office. But I met with Brian Fairchild on this, and he spoke with the power company. And because those are small users of electricity, they're not gonna affect our demand charge to mount anything. But I knew there was questions with Fair Board on how we were billing them for power. I knew there was questions about animal control. So I asked him if there was some other way that we could monitor the power use for those buildings. The quote that I just handed out to you this morning is to do that. That was the house, animal control, fair board office, and MSU, only because MSU does cost allocation. That's why I added that one in. And what he'll do essentially is just put a power meter in the building that we would have to read ourselves. It wouldn't change the way we're billed or anything, but we would then have a way to track how much power those facilities are using. So there is money budgeted to do some electrical work. Just looking for, I guess, direction, whether you want me to have him go ahead and install these meters or not.
well, my opinion is, obviously $1,000 is far better than 15,000. Is it worth the $1,000 for the mine to know where the electricity is going? I guess that's what we have to decide if,
Yeah, that's my question.
what's your opinion?
My opinion is, because I've been asked so many times in the last 5 to 7 years about it, that it's a small price.
Right.
Pay to have those answers for the question. Yeah. That's my opinion.
Yep.
Then we would know, yeah, what's using what.
Yeah,
It just takes all the guesswork out of everything.
sure.
And you have the money in the,
There was $15,000 budgeted for
Right.
putting in the power company and Omega together to put in meters, which it was done, that was done because they thought they wanted to lower the demand factor. I mean, in order to lower the demand factor, you have to go after the demand, not the little users. I mean, when we didn't have a fair, our demand went down to $300. So we know the fair office, we know MSU, we know those places are not causing the demand. So in order to affect that, you got to go after where the demand is coming from and split that up in order to reduce it.
would this be done before the fair?
I would have to check with Ryan. I don't know how busy he is. It's not going to change anything.
I know,
there.
I realize that. Well, I'll,
This would be simply for knowledge, to know what was happening.
Well, then I'll make that motion to spend the $920.
We have a motion. I'll look for a support.
I'll support it.
Okay, we have a motion and support to move forward with the estimate from Omega for $920.
I will speak with him today and see if there's a chance if we can get it done before the fair.
I need roll call.
And then one other thing that didn't make the agenda was the insulation that's,
Let's wrap up the roll call.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Commissioner LaHaye,
Yes.
Commissioner Fournier,
yes.
Commissioner Peterson,
Yes.
Commissioner Konarshewski.
Yes.
So the insulation that was left from the jail project, I contacted Ted Fines. He put me in contact with Brian Shoemaker, who kind of runs the construction end of their organization. I didn't hear back from him, so I called him back last week, and he said they are not interested in that material. So we're at the point of either we try to find somebody to give it to, or we pay to dispose of it.
How much is left there, Wes?
About 45 rolls of it. I mean, some of the rolls are 60 inches wide by 25 feet long.
Wow.
They're like an R30, so I'm guessing they're probably about an 8-inch thick material.
So how
It
much
was all
is
on the
that?
ceiling.
It might have been, but there's about 3 different sizes of it there.
So how much money are you talking about?
To get rid of it?
No, that is there.
Oh, I have no idea.
I don't know how-
To buy it new, you think?
Yeah,
I have no idea what that would be.
Yeah, that was just left over.
oh, well, that's new.
And it's gonna cost us for the land.
It was left over, and the original thought when we brought it to the fairgrounds was that maybe there was a contractor who would be willing to give us something for it
Right,
and use it, but that didn't work out. So,
Well, I guess I would be willing to take it myself, if everybody's okay with that, instead of paying to get rid of it.
Yeah, because it's gonna cost.
Of excess of $1,000,
Yeah.
is that much?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Give me a good reason to build a barn. Talk about-
I'd like to get it out, I'd like to get it out of the barn between, if not this week, the first part of next week, because I know the fair board's gonna be in there wanting to get going on setting up, get things ready to go for the fair.
and then
So,
I'll make that motion that we give it to you.
okay,
I'll
everybody's,
support it.
okay, we have motion support. So I'll get with you, Wes, and we'll get a truck and a couple guys over.
Perfect.
All in favor?
That's all I got, unless there's more questions.
All in favor of moving forward with that?
Aye,
Aye.
Aye. So, all opposed?
motion passed.
It's like motion's passed.
Don't run away.
Okay.
I'd like to know on the MSU building, do you no longer clean it?
By what?
You don't clean it anymore?
Yes,
You don't?
we do clean it every morning.
Oh, because, okay. That's at the fairgrounds, MSU.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I heard it hasn't been cleaned in a while. The garbage is overflowing and furniture's all,
About the garbage, I did hear about the floors.
and the furniture.
And I had a chat with an employee that's been doing it, and I think I have that straightened out.
Okay, next question. Did you hire a new person?
We put out a job offer, the background check has come back okay. He was due to have a physical sometime this week. So as long as that physical comes back, okay, yeah, we're planning on putting them on towards the end of the month or the first part of next month.
Good, I'm glad to hear that, because you,
And I also can update you a little bit, the one that had a back problems, apparently could be back as soon as Monday. Work. Apparently he's feeling a lot better. He's been in physical therapy for 5 or 6 weeks now, and I might have to be a little careful with him for a while yet, but at least we'll have 2 more hands working, so.
right, because you're so busy, especially right now. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Thank you.
And we talked yesterday about the fairgrounds buggy. You're gonna pick that up?
They're doing it.
Good,
They should be done with it.
awesome.
And they're actually, Mary Catherine helped to get some mulch in around the flower bed in front of the courthouse. They're going to Building Express to get the trailer load of that. That'll be taken before the end of the day today too.
Great.
Good.
The only a conversation I'll add here quickly is I did ask Mike for the demand from the fair people so we could maybe look into a generator to offset this annual cost. I didn't hear anything, so I reached out to him again yesterday and he has not heard anything from the fair people. So I guess what I'll do is I will call a couple of people today about and see if they have any rough idea if they rent generators to fairs in other places and see what they think our demand might be and get an estimate for that. If we don't do that soon, it's not gonna happen. That's only 3 weeks away or.
Yeah, it's August something.
Yeah, I think we need to either do that or we need to somehow, and I don't know if we would have Omega come in to do it or Thunder Bay Electric, somebody, we need to monitor what they're drawing from where. So if we are gonna attempt to split power up and put in separate, we know where to do it. I've heard talk of, well, we just need to separate the campgrounds. Well, in order to separate the campgrounds, you have to do that in 3 different transclosures, 3 different panels. They're not all fed out of one spot where you can just switch it over easy, you know? So I think what we really need to do is find out where the draw is. Either that or, like you say, just move it off onto a generator and eliminate it.
Yeah, because what did you say?
If we eliminated it, that would, as long as they got a generator every year, that would take care of the problem.
Because what does that cost? 12 or 14 grand a year?
The demand factor, the last bill was 1,400.
Yeah.
Something like that. And the whole bill was like 2,200.
Do the carnival people have their own generators?
They do for some stuff that they run, but they also tap in, there's a transclosure kind of between animal control and MSU. And they open that thing right up and wire in their own breakers and run off that panel.
Are they supposed to be doing that?
They've done it as long as I can remember.
Well, is there any
My thought
way,
would be no, but
is there any way that you could lock that up somehow?
I can lock the panels up, yeah, but then what are they gonna do?
I don't care. Well, buy a generator.
Guess who's gonna get the phone call when the fair came for?
Well, buy a generator.
Even those big ones like the Army uses.
Yeah, I'm teeth here too.
Those things they give away once in a while, no surplus.
I was gonna say,
Definitely.
can't you get them?
Yeah, here's the problem with that, and I think like yourself. I would be happy to go buy one for a few $1,000s from, before you know it, you're in the middle of the fair and some of it quits and then you rent one anyway. You know, I've been down that road.
Yeah.
You know, we'll let.
I know that's how we got our front end loader for what? $4,000? Buses.
Yeah, just for trucking.
Yeah, for trucking is all we got paid for because we're a government entity and they just give them away.
Yeah.
That's how we got the
1-ton pickup.
tracks that we got, that's how we got the Gator, that's how flatbed truck we're driving, that's how got all that stuff.
Did you check on the Gator for the fairgrounds?
Yeah, we just talked about it. They have got it back. We were able to get it running for about $380.
I haven't seen the invoice yet.
Between $350 and $380, they got it running, and Wes's people are going to do the remainder of the repairs. So I think we'll probably have less than $1,000 into it.
Yeah.
Why don't you look into seeing what it would cost to rent?
I'm going to. I'm going to. Yeah, I'll make some calls today.
I mean, it's a money savers. Even if you take that 1,400, reduce it down to $800, it's, $7,000-8,000 a year savings right there.
Yeah.
Because you're not gonna eliminate the demand totally, but you're gonna at least. and
Get
that's
it
what we-
down.
That's what we did at the rink, just to keep that demand. We put the ice down, just, you pay for it all year long,
Yeah.
That's why we ran that big generator at the.
Yeah. All right, I'll look into that and I'll have those numbers for our next meeting. Our next, or whatever. Okay, moving down the agenda, recycling and monthly report. Nobody has that, it's my captain's not here.
Right here in our file. Like that.
Good. Are you on that, Bill?
No, no.
Well, I guess, it seemed relatively consistent with the other months. I don't have any answers, but does anybody have any questions?
Yeah.
No,
Couldn't answer every,
Right?
every got
no, wouldn't do it.
Yeah, all right. Do we,
receiving file, yeah.
Yeah,
okay. Do I need a motion for
Yeah,
receiving
I'll
filing?
make that motion.
I'll support.
Okay, we have a motion and a support to receive and file the recycling reports. And vote on that?
The aye or nay, nay or
Yeah,
So we'll take a vote on receiving that. All in favor, say aye.
aye.
All opposed, same. Okay, seems
Make a motion to adjourn.
very good.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. Be adjourned.
Stick around, I got big